Hi y'all, bonjour, hola, welcome back. I'm so excited to share this new Facebook banner that I created with y'all. My name is Trish. If you're new on this channel, welcome. So without further ado, let's jump right into this tutorial. So the first thing that we are going to do is to go to File and we want to click on New. For creating a Facebook banner, there is a custom size that we have to use, and that is 820 by 312 pixels. So in your pixel, you can basically type in 830 or 820, I'm sorry, 820 by 312. And we want to take the resolution all the way to 300. And guys, I do that because I want to have the highest quality. If we need to reduce the size, you can do that anytime. So with all of this set and our background as white, we are going to click on Create. We want to go ahead and bring in the images that we're going to use. So I'm going to go to my folder and I want to drag in this image. So I'm going to right click, open with Photoshop, and I'm going to use my move tool and I'm going to drag it into my working file. I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to just rescale. And we might end up scaling her a little bit more as we go along. But this is basically the size that we are going to keep. Now, I'm sorry, the resolution of this image is not that great. I love the image, so I wanted to use it, and I couldn't find any image that I like so much like this one. So anyway, let's move on. Enough of my talking. So we are going to use our shapes. Now today we are basically going to use the rounded rectangle tool. So we are going to select that and we are going to draw just a basic rectangle like so. And with that created for us, what we want to do is to basically make sure that the stroke effect is 0. So we want to take out the stroke effect. So basically what I did is that I went to my property and then I clicked on my stroke and took out the outline stroke effect. Now, if you can find your property, you have to go to Windows and you will see property right there and you can basically bring it in and use it. We want to make a duplicate of it. So I'm going to select that and hold down my control and press J. So Control J, I'm going to make a duplicate and I want to set it right next to it. And then we're going to make a duplicate of the two. So I'm going to select both layers and Command J to make another copy, just like so. So we basically have this effect. Now, if you want to space it out a little, you can do that. So you have something like this, almost like a grid effect going on. I'm going to select all four and we are going to make a duplicate. So I'm going to hold down Command J, make a duplicate, 10 of all four of the new one that I just created. For the first four, we want to change the color scheme a little. So I'm going to click on the top left rectangle and I'm going to change that color to this blue, and I'm going to click on the bottom one, click on my fill, change that to pink like so, or whatever color you prefer. You can basically do that. I'm going to go ahead and also change this color, and this color we're going to change that to blue like so. Now we're going to turn on the other four that we created, and then I'm going to click on the top one. I'm going to just scale it just a little so we have sort of this effect that is going on. So we have almost like a little bit of a border And I'm just going to hold down my shift and scale this. Sometimes you don't have to hold down your shift depending on what version of Photoshop you have. So I'm going to move this up so we maintain our grid. I'm going to go ahead and do a similar thing with this one. So I'm going to scale this in like so. For this one, I want to scale it on all sides. So we have something like this going on. And for this one, I am going to scale the end. So we have something like that. So it's very playful. It all depends on how you want it. So I'm going to pull this end in. So we have this rectangle with the 3 sides. This rectangle has all 4 sides. This one has 2 and that has 2. So we have this look. Now we are going to make a selection of all 4, no, all 8. So I'm going to click on the last one and hold down my shift. We're going to select all of them. We want to rotate. So you want to bring your cursor or your mouse closer to the corner and you can go ahead and rotate. And as we do it, you realize that it's giving you an angle. Now, if you want to put in a specific angle, you can go up here and type in maybe -45 and it will give you the specific angle that you want. Now, we want to move this out here just a little like so, and I want to go ahead and create a duplicate. I'm going to basically make a selection like so. So with our selection made, I'm going to basically make a duplicate, Command J. I'm making a duplicate like so. I want to delete this one. It's much easier this way. I'm going to delete this one. So we have these 3. To flip these shapes, we can either rotate it ourselves or go to edit, and then you want to click on transform path, and then we want to choose flip horizontal. So it gives us the reverse. Now I'm just going to move these and set them right there like so. So we have this pattern going on. We can move it in a little bit closer. So we do still have a nice effect, but it's not too much. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my image and I'm going to zoom out a little and I'm going to scale my image like so. I'm going to scale even further like that. And now I'm going to go ahead, highlight all of my rectangles, or should I say square, and I'm going to hold down my Command, deselect the background, and we want to go ahead and rescale this. Now, this might look a little bit different from the tutorial. This might look a little bit different if you are doing it, but whatever you prefer, you can do. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so we can see it. So I'm going to go ahead, scale it a little bit more. We want to blur our image into the background. So we want to pick our eraser tool and we want to make sure that our layer is selected, and I'm going to brush this down like so with my brush a little bit away from the image so I can get a nice gradual effect. I want to go ahead and select each of these. We want to go ahead and merge all of these. So I'm going to click on merge shapes. So with all of these merged, we want to hold down our command, select everything. Now we want to click on our background image and we want to right click, but we want to make sure we are on the lasso tool. And once you right click, you get the option to copy or cut out. We want to just make a copy. And we want to move this all the way up like so. Now this is on top. So even if I turn off my background, which is that, you can still see my subject inside these, and that is cool. So we don't even need our background anymore. Now we want to go back to our folder. We want to go back to our folder and we want to bring in these two images. So I'm going to select both and we just want to drag it into Photoshop like so. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just scale them like that. I'm going to double click. We have this one. We can scale this as well. So we have something like that. Now you want to make sure that the other layer, which is more smoother, is on top. So this is what I want. Now, if you want a bit of the bottom image bleeding through, we can basically reduce the opacity so you have that texture also coming through like that. That is all preference. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to click on my layer, which is the blue, and I want to change that color to white. And I'm going to do the same thing for this purple, this pink. I'm going to click on the pink and I'm going to change that to white as well. And then we're going to change this one to blue and change this one to white, just with that click. So guys, we are very close. We are very, very close. What we want to do next is to create a 3D depth effect for our image. So I'm going to click on each of these rectangles, double click. That will bring up the layers panel. We want to add a shadow. Now you want to move this so you can see the shadow effect that is creating. If I click on this, you realize that my opacity is at 52, not 100, because I don't want a very dark shadow. Now you can play with the distance, spread, and whatever you want to do, but I like this. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for the rest of all the rectangles that I have, because I want to create almost like a 3D depth effect for all of them. And if you want to reduce even some of the shadow, you can do the same. But I like this effect, so I'm gonna keep it like that. So the next thing that we want to do is to go back to our folder. We want to bring in another image, drop it in like so. Now I picked this camera because the theme of this banner is talking about QUISTT photography. So I wanted to throw in a hint, so I just added it, but you don't have to do that. So I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to rescale like so. And what I want to do is that I want to blend this in with my background. So I'm going to take the opacity down like so. And then with my brush, with my eraser, I want to go ahead and blend this in with my background. So it's something like this, a gradual effect. I'm going to go ahead and scale it a little bit more so it passes the boundary. So this is what we have so far. I know that it doesn't look so bright, but guys, trust me, we are going to fix that. So with this set for us, we want to go ahead and add a little bit more streaks around the squares to complete the background design before we add our text. So I'm going to just go back and pick the same rectangle and we are going to draw a linear, a very thin line like so. And we want to change the color to white. We want to also make sure that the stroke is 0. Now we can scale it. So I'm just going to hold the end and scale it like so. You can hold down your shift so you can get the 45 degrees. Now I'm going to zoom in. Oops. And then with my move tool, I'm going to move that Now you have to be careful so you don't move the wrong thing. So I'm going to set it right there like so, and I'm going to zoom out. Now you can make a copy and then just continue with what you're doing, or if you don't want to, you can basically redraw it yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and draw another rectangle, and I'm going to do something like that. And I'm going to change the color to white. We want the fill, the stroke to be 0, and we want to rotate 45 like so. I'm going to move this all the way up so it's above, and we're going to basically move that and set that somewhere here like so. And I'm going to scale it a little, and I'm going to press Command J, make a duplicate, and I'm going to move that, and I'm going to set that right there like so. And we want to change the color to blue like that. Now we want to go ahead and add a little bit more. So I'm going to make a selection of the two and Command J, make a copy, and goes beyond the border. So we have something like this. I already like it. So I'm going to go ahead and make another copy, Command J, of just the white one. And I'm going to move that and set that somewhere here. Now guys, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just sort of giving you an idea of what you can do. So now we want to go ahead and add the few texts that we want to include in this banner. So the first thing is I'm going to type in, and then we want to go ahead and select, oh, by the way, this font is all round Gothic. I'm going to make all of the images and the fonts available for you to download and practice. So we want to go ahead and change the font. This time we want to go with the B-Buzz. As you know, I love it. So I'm going to click in here, and we want to change it to B-Buzz. And I'm going to type in QUISTT. Yeah, it's me. It's my photography. So I'm going to change the style to bold, and we are going to move that and set that right there. Ooh, I love it. Now we want to go ahead and add the different types of services that we will be doing. So I'm going to click again, and this time I want to change the font to Arial or Akumi Pro, and I'm just going to go ahead and type, but we want to change the font size, and then we want to begin to type fashion. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and with my shape I'm going to pick an ellipse, and we're going to make just a little circle like so. We want to make sure our stroke is 0, and what we have is a dot. So Command J, we make a duplicate, zooming in, we make a duplicate, we set that right there. Command J, another duplicate. Isn't this fun? Command J, another duplicate. And guys, we are done with this. So this looks good. Now, the last thing is where we can be reached. So I'm going to go back to our folder. We have these two images. I'm just going to grab both, and we are going to drag them and set them in here. So this one accept, this one accept. We see that this one has a background, but we'll set it on the side for now. Let's take care of the symbol of the phone. So we are going to scale it down, set it right there. Ooh, that's huge. And we are going to go to our image, adjustment, choose hue, saturation. Now we want to take the lightness all the way to 100, And notice what happened. The lightness basically takes out all of the color and leaves only the white. So we're going to click OK. And I'm going to go ahead, zoom in. We're going to scale this down. Yes, we want to scale it down like so. We're going to double click, move this somewhere here like that. Yes, we want to scale it down a little bit further like so. And we want to move, we want to click on that and move it up just a little like so. Now we want to go back and pick our text tool, and we want to this time choose the all-rounded Gothic, and the size is going to be very small. Okay, so I'm going to put plus just like that, and I want to move all of that, make it lowercase, so it means I have to retype. So with this set, we are going to go ahead and scale it down a little. We're going to set this right there, and we can move this out of the way a little. So this is set for us. Now, the last thing is the address. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this right here. Now you can get the location icon online without the background, but the one I pulled had it. So we're going to take our magic wand. We're going to select and hold down our shift, select the bottom. Then we just going to right click and make a copy. Now we can delete the original. We have this without the background. Now I'm going to go ahead and rescale like so, and we're going to set it right there. Now what do? Yes, you're right. So we are going to select the layer, go up to Image, Adjustment, Hue, we're going to go to Image, Adjustment, Hue Saturation, and we're going to take the lightness all the way up. And then we only have what? The white showing. So with this set, we are basically going to make a duplicate, Command J of our phone number, and we are going to highlight this and then use that to change, to put in our address. So now that we are done, you realize that the text spacing is too wide. So to fix it, you want to go to your property and you want to click on the A over A, or you can type it in, or you can use your slider to slide it left and right till you get it to the position you want. Now that we have this, I'm going to select everything and we are going to move it down like so. And I'm going to go ahead and scale this down just a little so everything fits right here. Move it out a little. Now, when we zoom out, guys, we are done. But yes, I know we still need to fix the color. So to do this, we're going to do a couple of things, or shall I say just two. So we're going to go to the top layer and we are going to press Shift, Option, Command E. It's going to create one file for us. We want to add a color lookup. So we're going to click on the image and go to Adjustment, choose Color Lookup. Now we want the color lookup to only be affected to this layer and not the rest of the bottom layer. So we're going to hold down our command, our options, and clip it to only this image. Now we want to change the color lookup option. So you go up to your property and then you want to play with all the different options that it gives you. So as I flip through, you realize that there are so many different options, but I want to stick with the 3 strip. We're going to go to Filter and then choose Camera Raw. Now this is where the magic happens. So we're going to take the vibrance all the way up. And I like the way it looks. Now, the next thing you want to do is to take the temperature back. Now, when you do this, it gives your image a modern look and it takes away sort of the brownish effect that you have. We can bump up our saturation if we want it a little bit more. And then I like to always take my contrast a little bit back forward to give it a little bit of a punch. And with this set, we are going to click on OK. And this is what we have as our final image. Now you can play with it, you can do whatever you want. And again, I want to apologize. My image is not so sharp. Um, I wish that I had a very high resolution image, but this works for the concept and what I'm trying to convey. So, guys, this brings us to the end of this lesson. I hope that this was very informative. So, till next time, please be safe, and I will see you all in the next tutorial. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.